Oh, I hope everybody can hear me nice and loud and clear. Looks like I'm on live right now. And today we are going to be talking about Love and Hip Hop Season 6, Episode 4. As you hear in my voice, I'm more than disappointed because pretty much that's basically how I feel about the show. I mean, I'm very disappointed about the show. At first I was excited when if you listened to my first review, I was excited, I was hyped. I thought the production was on point, and then I heard about Remy and Pat being on the show, so I was like extra hyped because it was like this black love, and I was like, yeah, New York. And New York at one time had the reputation of being the shiznick, and so whenever you hear about Love and Hip Hop New York, you're like, oh shit, everybody's getting ready because that was like the original place of hip hop. um but unfortunately it looks like New York is on the losing end. As with music, I know they've been losing terribly over the past few years when it came down to music, and it looks like they're losing terribly as well when it's coming down to the selection of people that they're choosing to be on the show. And don't get me wrong, Love and Hip Hop, the I think the original one was on point, and a few seasons after that it was on point. But this man, this Love and Hip Hop, this Love and Hip Hop season 6 shit, yo, this shit is fucking whack as fuck. And just prepare yourself because I will be cursing in this video. Okay. This shit is whack as fuck. And no, I'm not the only one who's saying that shit. You can easily go on the blogs and read it for yourself. I've read some of the blogs, and a lot of people saying the same thing that I'm saying. Let me just first start off and say that I'm so happy that Amina, Tara, and Peter was not on this episode 4. I'm so happy I don't see those three pathetic stooges. I'm gonna call them the Three Stooges. I'm so happy the Three Stooges wasn't there. I was also happy that Remy and Pat actually wasn't on the show on this season because, to be honest with you, if their love is as strong as they're displaying to society, and if things are going so swell for them and they haven't been damaged um, by society and rumors, lust, lies, deceit, envy, jealousy, violence, bad images, a bad look. If they haven't been damaged by that, then my motto is why jump into a pool of fucking sharks if you don't have to. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just makes you wonder, like, how much are they really getting paid? That if your love is so strong and if everything was on the up and up, why the fuck would you why would you do something like that? Why would you put your love on the line uh, to be around these fucking idiots? Because that's basically what these people are. And I'll get into that in a minute. These people are nothing but idiots on the show. Cardi B, I'll get into her in a minute, but these people, man, the class of people, man, if they're intercepting their lives to the class of people that's on the show, I mean, really, you just really got to think about the decisions that you're making, because to me it makes no sense whatsoever. But anyway, hopefully, when we see episode 5, um hopefully they'll still be on the up and up, and they'll still carry that image that society looks at these two as, having a strong black love and a man who's supportive and Prince Charming, and he comes and saves the prince with a glass slipper. So hopefully the image that they've been portraying on Instagram and through the blogs and interviews, hopefully they'll continue to carry that image all the way up until the last episode. Even at the reunion, I'm hoping that shit doesn't get sloppy for them. And I'm hoping that they'll be able to get on the up and up. So enough with that. Let's talk about things. Let's talk about some things. So, Rich Dollaz has a 16-year-old daughter who is pretty. Her name is Ashley. And basically, she was so-called supposed to be moving in with him because her mother is so-called supposed to be going to the Dominican Republic on a missionary, which I think that whole story is bullshit. I'm not falling for that. That shit sounds like game. And she's supposed to be like this Christian woman. That shit sounds like game too. I'm not falling for that. But let's say if it is true. Okay. I'm happy that Ashley was able to spend some time with her father, Rich Dollaz. And I say that because she's a teenager now. She's 16. Unfortunately, she informed the whole world that she's no longer a virgin. So with those circumstances being the way that it is, I think that right now is a critical time for her to be with her father. And I'm not saying that she doesn't need her mother in her life, but it seems like if her mother is portraying this Christian woman who goes to church 7 days a week, 365 days a year for 15 hours a day, that's not the person I think who's going to give like well-rounded advice. Because if you're stuck in doctrine like that, then there's some form of brainwashing. And when you're dealing with a teenager who is starting her journey off into adulthood, unfortunately bumping into a lot of creeps, such as her father claimed that he is, and a lot of thoughts and whores and strippers, and people are glorifying this negative lifestyle that will only lead to destruction. I believe that having her father in her life is very critical at this time. Okay, because things could go left really quickly. As you know, there's teenage pregnancy and diseases that are incurable that can be introduced into her life without the proper guidance. People are going to do what they want to do. We all know that, especially if you're a teenager listening to this broadcast, or if you're an older person who, was once a teenager, obviously, because you're here listening to the show and you're an adult. Being around, people who are negative or glorifying a negative lifestyle, that's like, that could damn near ruin your like life going forward. You could make like the wrong decision and go down the wrong road that you can't really like repair. So I like the fact that not Peter, shit, I don't think I would want any teenager around Peter, but anyway, that's another story. But Rich Dollaz, due to the fact that it appears, okay, that he's had so much experience with all kinds of women from all walks of life, whether they be short, tall, fat, skinny, Puerto Rican, Dominican, black, this, that, third, everything you could think of, brown hair, black hair, red hair, short hair. I mean, he had it all. Shit, we all seen it for our own eyes. So for a man who's so well versed in relationships, I believe that he can give his daughter some well-rounded advice in a systematical, strategical way that doesn't come off as doctrine, doesn't come off as this is what this is what I do, and this is what you should do, and you should follow my lead. I think he has like a better approach more than the mother. And for her mother to come across again with this Christian outlook, acting as if she's like fucking Mary mother of whatever, Mother Teresa, whatever, woman, please, because obviously not saying that she could have controlled her daughter 100%, because again, you can't really control anyone on this planet. Only they can control themselves, especially when they're teenagers. So I'm not saying that just because the girl lost her virginity, that is her mother's fault. But obviously, the mother was not on the up and up. Okay, so and then with with Rich Dollaz being with his daughter in his life, I think that's also going to help him as well, because maybe he'll be able to think twice, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times before he actually just goes into creep mode and he starts just like running game, using and abusing. Not saying he's physically abusing, but like emotionally and sexually abusing these women by having sex with them, promising them small things, bringing them into the bathroom. Remember those bathroom scenes? He has a lot of bathroom scenes where he was bringing women into the bathroom and just having sex with them. You know, I could tell that when Rich Dollaz was looking at his daughter, he probably was playing back some of the scenes of what he was doing to these women. You know, how would you like it if somebody took your innocent daughter out to lunch and you could tell that she's looking for love? You can tell that there's some type of emotional damage, and you being sophisticated and having a hidden agenda of, I'm going to just use this woman and drop her. How would you like it if somebody did that to your daughter? You know what I'm saying? So I think that his daughter being in his life, I think that this is going to be a real good thing for Rich Dollaz, because I think he'll be able to open up his eyes now and see that the shit that he's been displaying on TV is so not good. And I mean, the lifestyle that you was like glorifying and like almost like unconsciously manipulating men to act like that towards other women, you wouldn't want that for your daughter. Okay, you definitely wouldn't want that for your daughter. So I think that those two being together, I think that definitely was a positive thing. But I will say that when he so-called came home and he so-called didn't know that she was in the house and then the suitcase, and he was shocked and what was she doing here? That was bullshit. I wasn't falling for that. But anyway, you know, when the mother had came and she said, well, she's leaving because of a picture that I saw on Instagram with her having a belly ring and you approved of it. First of all, he didn't approve of it. She showed him, look, Dad, I got this belly ring, and he didn't know that she got it. You know what I'm saying? And he, again, I could see that the wheels was turning in his head, and he was like, whoa, like, how am I gonna like strategically approach this girl who I haven't like been around consistently, you know, that I haven't been that role model, and all of a sudden here she comes. Not saying that we don't know what he does off camera, you know what I'm saying, but we know the dynamics. How am I going to sit this girl down and let her know that the path that I see that she's going down is not so much of a good path? So the mother comes and she's like, you're leaving because of that. Like, you know, woman, pass me on that. Like, that's bullshit. You know, I think that it was more so jealousy, honestly. When she saw that Ashley and Rich was like, you know, coming together, they was forming a bond. I think that she was more so jealous because it was like, you know, probably the image or probably what she's been telling her daughter about her dad is not how her daughter saw her dad after spending time with him. And then she saw that they were building a bond that was probably going to be even stronger than her daughter, which she's been raising for what, the past 16 years. And here he comes, Mac Daddy, you know what I'm saying? Daddy's little girl, where she can just like go to her father and talk to him and tell him that she lost her virginity, show him that she got a ear piercing in her belly button. And again, you know, starting to form that bond and being able to be open with him without him passing judgment or like applying some strict discipline on her to the point where she feels like she can't go to anyone. And then as a bad result, confiding into these dirty little boys who will act like her father and will just hit it and quit it. Yeah, so I think that the mother was a little bit jealous of that. Another thing I wanted to go over is the fact that I think, because he did mention, I was hearing something about, he mentioned something about paying a lot of money in child support, and this is not his own child, as far as I know. And if he's paying a lot of money every week for child support for her, and she was with him for the summer, if that became like a permanent thing where they shared custody, from what I know, If you have partial custody of your child and you're paying child support, you no longer have to pay that full balance. You can definitely go to the court and you can present to the court and show proof that your child is with you, so that mother no longer gets that big check. So I think, again, this is my opinion, I think that that was probably another reason why she wanted to, hurry up and get her daughter out of there, because who knows, he may have started that paperwork. And if she was on her way out of towards the Dominican Republic, she was going to be there for a year. If they would have summoned her, she wouldn't have got the paperwork because she's not there, and hey, the process would have started, the payments would have lessened. And obviously, if he's paying high child support, not saying that she's not supporting her daughter, but you best to believe some of that money is going in her pocket. Okay. If you have the ability, I don't know what kind of missionary work she was doing if you're getting paid, but let's say if you was doing free missionary work, where you getting the money from? You know what I'm saying? So if he was paying child support, are you living off of your child support to the point where you can go and provide free services and act like your Mother Teresa because your baby father is like sending you these checks because he's consistently on every fucking Love and Hip Hop, whether it be California or New York? I think he was even in Atlanta. I mean, he's all over. Like, Mona is hooking him up. Like, he's on the payroll consistently. He must have a cool relationship, I think, with Mona, because trust me, he's on that. Yeah, so since we're on the subject of Rich Dollaz, so Rich Dollaz so-called was fucking with MariahLynn. And I didn't understand that either. Like, really, MariahLynn? I mean, like, damn, this girl is so fucking thin, man. And I know that some people are thin, so there's nothing wrong with that. But I mean, yo, you claiming that you a hoe, right? You sleeping with this nigga who sleeps with almost every chick under the sun, no matter what they look like, from every fucking state you could have imagined, all across the seas. Then you fucking with Cisco? What the fuck is going on, yo? That shit don't sound right to me, B. That shit don't look right. It don't look right to me. It don't look right. And I don't understand why the fuck is Rich. And then when they showed the scene when Rich Dollaz, she was like, you could pull your hand down, and his like hand went on her thighs. It was like, oh, it was like she was like a little kid or something. And I was like, damn. I mean, it looked like she was so small. Like, I think she's smaller than his daughter, and his daughter's 16, and I think this girl's in her 20s. So that shit right there alone was like sick. It was real sick. So I don't know what's up with that. And MariahLynn, if she's going ahead and sleeping with Rich Dollaz, being proud about it, and then she's sleeping with Cisco because he's supposed to be the manager, she's taking some weak ass, low grade prostitute advice from Cardi B as to yeah, you just use these niggas and you gonna feel better. That shit right there, you don't want no fucking advice like that. There's no way in the world you, as a woman who's trying to get into the music industry, sleeping with these men is not gonna help you. You're not using anybody, you're being used, actually. Okay, and if you're trying to establish some type of solid business and put your name out there, spreading it wide early in the game is not the way to go. Okay, and obviously they got checked real early in the game with that, especially when Cisco and her was at the party. Cisco was at the party. He was so cool there because Mo was performing with Lexi, and they was singing some song called Thoughtalicious. I mean, I had to really like sit down. I was like, wait a minute, hold up. I know I'm not hearing this song. Like I had to rewind. I was like, well, maybe I'm bugging. No, I don't think I'm really hearing what I'm. And then I heard them. They was like, Thoughtalicious. Thought. I'm like, oh shit, are we serious, show? Are they really giving us a breakdown on Thoughtication, yo? I mean, that shit was so fucked up, yo. You know, and then Ra Ali, she always tries to like come across like she's this classy, always on point, you know, with everything she does. If you're so classy and if you're supposed to be on point, why you ain't hook your girls up and let them know, look, if you a good lyricist, if you drop it like it's hot, you know what I mean? If you know how to break shit down, you don't gotta come up with no fucking whack ass, weak ass, low grade. I don't even think it's gonna be hot for long song like this. You should have put these chicks on point and let them know, look, you're about to come out. If you plan on being out for a minute, you don't gotta come out so fucking cheap, yo. I mean, don't fucking expect to have a 99-cent product end up in Bloomingdale's. That's not gonna happen. So a real manager should have sat their ass down and let them know. First of all, the name BBOD is whack as fuck, in my opinion. In my opinion, I think the name BBOD is whack. And they talking about that shit stands for bad bitches on deck. That shit could easily stand for bum bitches on deck. Bum bitches down. You know what I mean? That shit could go like a lot of ways. Like a lot of people could come up with a lot of memes for that. So Mo, instead of worrying about trying to get a new manager and replace her with Yandy, who has a shitload of fucking problems, you should be worried about your image, because I'm sorry, but their image, I mean, those outfits, and Ra Ali gassed her up and said, oh, you guys look sexy and shit like that. That shit was fucking game. She know inside them bitches did not look good. To be honest with you, when I saw their outfit, I was like, okay, they got it from you know, those Halloween stores. You know, Halloween, you know what I'm saying? They went and got a Superman outfit, put it together with some cheap ass spandex from the $10 store. You know, that's what I thought when I saw it. I mean, the shit looked the cheap as fuck. You know what I'm saying? And their body is to a point where they can wear like cheap shit and like get away with it. You know what I mean? But those bitches, those outfits looked terrible. So instead of worrying about trying to hop from this person to that person, being a fucking backstabber towards your manager who got you to this point, worry about your clothes. All right. Go to your manager and be like, yo, check this out. We supposed to be going to be on camera. The whole world is going to see us. You know, you never get a second chance to make a first impression type shit. Yo, hook us up with the gear. Yo, spend money on our clothes. We look cheap as fuck. Bad bitches on deck. No, bum bitches right now on deck with the outfits looking cheap as ever. Let's go with that. Instead of worrying about changing your name, no, I'm sorry. Instead of worrying about changing your manager, worry about changing your name, yo. Cause that BBOD, I don't know. I don't know if it's that. I don't know. I really don't know if that shit is going to click for a very long time. I don't know. I just don't feel it. Like, I don't feel it. Like, it's not like, you know, like the name like Destiny's Child, like, you know, that shit clicks. Like Destiny, you know, like, okay, yeah, it's going to work then. It's going to work next week. It's going to work next month. It's going to work next year. It's going to work in the future. Like, that shit is always going to be shit. Like, that shit, that name, get the name right. To me, your name ain't right. First of all, you're saying that your bad bitch is on deck. But to be honest with you, and if you read the blogs, this is not just me saying this, I don't really see on the low, if you can hear me, I don't really see bad bitches on deck. I'm just keeping it real. Sorry, just keeping it real. Especially when Mo, when she stepped to Cisco, it's like every time she's around Cisco, it's like he's always moving back, or he always has like that kind of air of he's like embarrassed to be seen with her, or like, you know, like he just want to hurry up and like do the scene and like get the fuck away from her. Like he's like damn near like selling his, like, you know, he's like almost like a prostitute, like, you know, let me hurry up and fuck this John just to get the money. Like that's the kind of like air of impression that I get with him and her. And it seems like she's so fucking thirsty to like have a man claim her. Like she's just like really putting too much onto it. And I mean, only if she could see herself and like see how stupid she looks with like, you know, sweating him. And it's like, come on now, yo, stop, man. It's really not that serious. It really, really isn't that serious. And even when she went and she talked to him about business, like you could tell that he really just wanted to talk to her about business. Like he wasn't really feeling her like that. He really wasn't feeling her. And she was like gassed and shit. And she thought that he really was, but I could tell that he really wasn't really feeling her like that. If anything, I could see him more attracted to her friend Lexi. Not even her. Like she gotta, yo, that. And then Mo, her fucking attitude is so disgusting. Like it just makes her look like totally freaking whack, man. Like she needs to go to etiquette class for real, for real. Like somebody needs to sit her down and have good counsel with her and let her know, like, yo, check this out. What you've been doing has not been on the up and up. All right. Your whole image already looks cheap as fuck. And you really, really need to calm down. I know you hype. I know you gassed. I know, you know, you acting like you've never had it before. I know all of this is brand new to you, yo. And I know that you're used to being a hood rat, but you need to like just calm down, like straight up. Somebody needs to sit down with her. And to be honest, I understand she's saying that she don't want Ra Ali to be her manager. And if you can't sit down and have good counsel with your group and let them know to stop like trying to be like a mother hen who like picks her favorite child, or like that teacher that you go to class and everybody in class knows that she has a fucking favorite pet fucking student. Instead of acting like that, be a real good manager, remove yourself from your feelings, and sit these girls down and give them good counsel so they can represent you well. Because if you would have coached them properly, there's no way in the world, especially with me, if I have a group of people who's working with me, I'm gonna let them know straight up. Look, this is what's gonna happen. This is what we're gonna do. If you fuck up, I'm letting you know this is gonna be the last time. I would give them good counsel before you get up on stage, because you're not about to make me look stupid. So instead of Ra Ali, you know, trying to be like a backstabber and a sneaky woman, as I said before, because she looks like that, and we'll see in the end, she already snaked her friend Tahiri. She was friends with her for a long time and backstabbed her. Instead of trying to like have that air of being a backstabber, why don't you give your group good counsel and be the manager that you claim that you want to be? You want to do everything that everybody else is doing. And even when I said that in my last review, you know, I saw that I got a few negative like responses, like I was bugging, but come to find out, after what I had said is what Yandy even said. Oh, you want to be a manager now? Oh, like you want to do what I do? I said that. I knew that. I could see it. And then boom, it was said. She proved what I said. You know what I'm saying? So as a manager, yo, you don't fucking, you know, it's like Riley. I don't really think she's good for a manager's position, to be honest with you, yo. I don't really think she's good for a manager's position. Cause she's too much trying to be like a gossiper, trying to like know people business, trying to backstab, trying to pull people's card and shit. That's how she is. She ain't for no manager's position, because a manager is not biased, which they're not supposed to be. But a manager is not supposed to be a biased person. They're supposed to have good critical judgment and be able to see all sides of the story and apply quick solutions. That's what a manager is supposed to do. Okay. So they can bring up their production, not look for flaws and then sneaky talk behind somebody's back and then expect like your people to like respect you. Ain't nobody gonna respect you like that. And maybe that's what Mo was picking up on, that she's a snake. And that's why she has lack of respect. You know? Mm. Oh no, man. I'm just happy that, like I said, I'm just happy those other group of people wasn't on there, because this shit was looking mad fucking cheap. And talking about cheap, MariahLynn, she had so-called went to Cisco's apartment, because he has like an apartment probably located in New Jersey, which is right over the water. So fucking obvious. I don't know why they're putting these people's location out. I mean, it's so many fucking psychos in this world. I mean, for them to like put where they're at, I mean, damn. I mean, that shit was like, I don't know. Like, I wouldn't fuck with that. But anyway, he like has a little fucking small, tiny ass fucking terrace and shit. He puts a table out there with fucking 2 cheap chairs. I didn't even see the dinner. I don't even think the chick ate it. She's so fucking thin. She probably took one bite. It was full as fuck. And then next minute, they're standing up looking over. He's like, oh, she's like, oh, this is so beautiful. And I like a man who, takes attention to details. That little thing that he did, which was so fucking cheap. I mean, he didn't even have the audacity to like take her to dinner. So he puts a little cheap table on his terrace, and she's impressed with that. And then that like makes her wet. And before you know it, they're like kissing, and I'm sure they had sex, which they didn't show us that part. So that little thing like impressed you? Like, really? Okay, so you had sex with him, so now you automatically think that's your man, but he never said that he was your man. Same thing with Mo. And it's funny. It's funny how, and this is how I know that Cisco don't really like Mo. Because it's funny how we never ever seen Mo and him kissing. We might see that on the other episodes as we go along, but you ain't never seen him like kissing and hugging and like what he was doing with MariahLynn. He don't like that chick. He do not like that chick, and I think he's just doing that for the show. And then when they got together, it's like they're both like shocked. Oh, I didn't know you're fucking him. Bitch, stop. Just, girls, please go sit your fucking thought ass down somewhere. Please, with those girls. My goodness. So I think that's all I have to say. And yeah, Lexi, for some reason, I don't know, maybe it's me, but she remind me like a lot of Trina Braxton. They kind of look similar. Just like I was saying, Cardi B, she kind of looks similar to Harry. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know if anybody peeped that, but I kind of like Lexi. She seemed like she has a really cool spirit about her, but hanging out with that Mo girl, I don't know. I don't know if she's gonna be corrupted. Because man, that Mo girl is mad negative. She's ignorant as fuck, loud, wants to be seen, and she has a complex about her. The whole world could see it, Let me just move on, because those girls are just as tired as they can be. Ugh. Let's move on to Cardi B. Oh, and I'm not the only one who's saying this, but Cardi B, her voice is starting to become fucking very annoying now. And I know that she's trying. Stop. And for some reason, it looks like her breath stinks. I mean, I don't know why. She just looked like she got bad breath or something. I don't know why she looked like that. And it's like I know she's supposed to be funny and all that, but I mean, it's funny to the point where it's starting to look like ignorant. And when I see her, I see this woman who has a body of a woman and a mind of a child. It's that kind of funny. Like, okay, she's funny because she's so fucking ignorant. Like, just we could let her pass. And even when she was in the car and she was like, the shit that she said, I can't like really recall what she said, but she was banging the car like, get me out of here for a break car. I don't know. She said something like that, and it was like mad ignorant. She said like I break car, like she like missed the word or something. And I'm like, what the fuck? Yo, this girl is more than ignorant, yo. What was the last grade she completed? I would like to know. Sorry. Because, I mean, it's one thing to be funny. I mean, see, Dave Chappelle is funny. Okay. Martin, he's funny. Let me think of a couple of other people. You know, those kind of people like what's her name? Niecy Nash, she's funny. You know what I'm saying? Like people like that. You could be funny, but not a dumbass. See, that's a difference. Being funny and being a dumbass is like different. And it's like her comedian attitude now is like, to me, it ain't funny no more. It ain't funny. It ain't funny to me, yo. It ain't funny. It's like, yo, you like, yo, without them implants and without that butt injection and without them wigs, like I don't think you would be looking that funny. I think niggas would be looking at you like, yo, this bitch, she looks funny as fuck. But you know, I guess she got the breast implants and the butt implants and all this shit that comes with it, that little package that they put together. She could play it off, but to me, it don't look cute no more, yo. It really don't look cute no more. And going back to DJ Self, now I can see why he's confused. Because I guess he, figured, she looks cute or whatever, and she's funny. She makes him laugh every so often, but I'm sure he'd be like, damn, I mean, it's to the point where you can't really even have a serious conversation with her. And then she's mad at him because he don't put her on. I wouldn't put her ass on either. And anybody in their right mind wouldn't put her ass on either, because I mean, this girl is ignorant. Ignorant. Okay? Fig Newton type shit. You know? So yeah. So I see why he's confused. And Yorma, oh my God, this girl gets on my fucking nerves. She's another one too. I mean, she's always like, every time you see her, she always has this sulky look, like, oh, woe is me, and oh, feel sorry for me, and oh, you playing me, and just stop it, bitch. You're a stripper, man. You're a fucking stripper. Do you really expect DJ Self to be your number one uno nuno, okay, Prince Charming, papoose type image dude who's gonna come with a glass slipper, sweep you off your feet, and you over there in the fucking sweaty ass club with dirty ass men lusting over you, and you fucking damn near got your ass out playing around with hard dicks and shit at night, and you don't expect him to go out and cheat on you or him to have a bitch on the side? Of course he is. Look what you're doing. Look in the mirror. Look at what you're doing. You're a stripper. You're not Mother Teresa. You're not a school teacher. You're not a lawyer, not a doctor. You're not anybody who is productive in society. You're a stripper. What the fuck do you expect? Not saying that all strippers should automatically get played, but I'm just saying, like, come on already. Stop it, please. And that's why he was able to easily get her back with a whack ass. I mean, he called her what they call her, the National Cab in New York. He called National shit. They picked her up. He gave her some cheap ass flowers that he got from the local supermarket that was probably in the cab when she stepped in. And the stupid ass card that he got from the 99-cent store. I mean, the words were so fucking big. I mean, I don't know why he wrote so big. I guess he wanted the world to see. And then he told the man to like tune into 105.1. And he said some stupid shit. I mean, and then she got in the car. He was like, you forgive me. She was, bitch, please stop it. Just, girl, if you don't stop. Please, that whole scene was so whack. I mean, really. It was just whack, man. I mean, this season, man, And like I said, I'm not the only one who's saying this, man. I mean, you can really go on the blogs and see it for yourself, yo. I'm not making this up. This is the streets is talking. This is what they saying. You know, this is what they're saying. This shit is fucking whack. So I don't really think there's nothing more to say about this. Other than what's being shown on these reality shows, man, like Love and Hip Hop season 6, man. At first, you know, they had me fooled. Shit, episode 1, I was like, hey, you know, oh shit. Episode 2 came, I was like, oh. Episode 3 came and I was like, oh. And then episode 4, I'm like, damn, yo. What the fuck, yo? It can't get no worse than this. But anyway, this shit is whack. I just can't wait till Love and Hip Hop Atlanta comes, because I know they come with a lot of drama, but at least they have some type of decorum about themselves. Other than this shit that we seeing, man, this shit is fucking pathetic. And New York fell all the way off. And now I see why so many people are leaving New York. That shit is wiggity whack. Anyway, I'm gonna end it here. Have a good day, and stay tuned for my next episode or whatever broadcast I may be doing.